all the answers you need to know. Watch now. Join in the fun. Deep Space Grid Monster on the run. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jason. That's Deacon. We are your internet dads. Sometimes I forget to do this thing. There's like a thing where I'm supposed to put our names up. Is that it? That's not. I don't like that one. It's this one. There, look at this. You can find me on X at Internet Dads. No, at Jason Says Things. And that's Deke. You can find him on X at Dad Deeks, but you're not really posting a lot of stuff over there, I don't think. This music's going real long.
No, I usually just troll and lurk. I don't really troll, but I lurk.
Do you go check X sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I've got 2 or 3 accounts.
2 or 3 accounts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 or 3. Oh,
I have one for I have one for the press, and then one for I have one for that, and then I have one for that was my original, and it's more radio. But then the Dad Deacon one was the one that I started when we were on the podcast.
Right, yeah.
So that's the one that
the press. You have one for the press. What is that? I'm curious.
The press company.
The press company? Oh, Andy Red Press. Yeah.
No, that's not what it's called, but thanks for shouting that
out. Papa Red Press.
Yeah.
I know I think that it should be Andy, but I understand you want to be
No.
It should be. It should be.
No, I don't. I think this is better. Rings off the tongue better. Good morning. How was your weekend?
You know what? I had a bunch of interesting things happen over the weekend. Interesting to me, maybe not interesting to anybody else.
Yeah.
Started off Friday night. My wife went out on my wife went out with her friend and mother of my my goddaughter. So what does that make her? My god sister? Not real sure, but they went to dinner and my wife was like, "You and the boys can have an internet night," and I was like, "That's not gonna happen. I can't." Come on. So instead, you know what I did? I put the kids to bed around 8:00, and then right outside their bedrooms, I have like a media room, kind of a media room. It's more or less been taken over by Barbie dolls or Monster High dolls and, toys and stuff. But there's a chair, and I sat in that chair, and I sat guard to make sure that my kids don't get out of bed and go run around. And it was the end of the day. And so I'm sitting there in the chair, and I'm like, oh, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I watch, I follow Bancroft on YouTube. Bancroft is a comic creator. He's a creator and comic creator. He's a, writer and artist of this comic book called Lucent. And he lives in Australia. And he has a very regular show, high quality show. A lot better than this. A lot better than this. And, like the way that all the comic book creators run their pages is basically like it's engaging or a little bit edgy,
going down
not too
15 different side roads. Let's get back on the main road. You're losing me.
What they do is they're promoting their comics. So whatever they're doing, they're overall promoting their comics. So I tune into his page and he's running a trivia game, a comic book trivia game. It was I don't know that he's using some web app or whatever. It's pretty cool. So so I was like, well, I'll just start answering these trivia questions on his trivia game on his show. And I got 3rd place out of like 20 or 30 people. Like, I was like, wow, I know a bunch of these answers. I don't regularly view that or do that. So I got 3rd place in a trivia, a creator owned comic trivia.
Right. Okay. What else?
And then Saturday I got up and I was like, oh, I think I'm going to go like put together one garden box. So I didn't do that. Instead, I got up and I went and I built 4 garden boxes. It took me all day long. I was exhausted. I had like 16,000 steps on my Fitbit. So I built 4 garden boxes in the backyard, planted a bunch of plants. This is what I did.
I think that one of the fundamental differences between me and you, and it's hilarious, is the Fitbit. You wear a Fitbit. I mean, that should explain everything between me and you.
Do you know why I wear a Fitbit? because my wife gets mad if I don't answer my phone.
Oh.
It's,
what I was
otherwise
getting at, it was a long way around. I saw a video of you having a nice swing in the hammock this weekend.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh yeah. So at the end of my very long day of building garden stuff in the backyard, I was exhausted, and I found, and the weather's nice, and I found in the garage our hammock from last year, and I pulled it out, set it up, because my wife was like, "Oh, if you're doing stuff, that'd be nice." And I'm like, "Okay." I hooked it all up, and I was like, I'm gonna clean up everything, and then I'm gonna lay out in this hammock. And while I'm doing that, my wife had taken the kids to a neighborhood birthday party. So as just like 5 minutes after I get the hammock together and I like get comfortable and lay in it, my kids come back from the birthday party and they're like, "Oh, Dad's in the hammock." And one of them piles in, and another one piles in, and another one piles. There's 3 kids at our house this weekend. 3 kids on the hammock. And this hammock was out in the wind and the rain and the sun last year, and it kind of deteriorated a little bit. It was fine for me, but once all the kids got in, and they were like bouncing and hopping around, whatever. And then my wife walks out the back door with her camera. She's like, "Look at what's going on here." And then all of a sudden, boom! You want to run the video? You can run the video if you want on Facebook. I don't mind. It's
make me moderator.
Oh, yeah. I don't know where Facebook is.
Oh, wait. Don't do it yet. Hang on. Don't do it yet.
Okay. Well, you're moderated.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
This is embarrassing a little bit. Little embarrassing.
This is kind of funny. Do we want to? There we go.
That's pretty much. Yeah, I don't know if you want it too loud. Yeah, there's no volume. You haven't muted.
No, I don't have the volume.
Okay.
So there you are.
Yeah, my wife's coming out. It's like, haha. And then I hear this rip, and I'm like, "What was that?" And you can see me kind of brace for it. I was like, "Oh, something." And then, boom. Oh my God.
Oh, he's mine.
No, he's ours.
Oh.
No, he's ours.
Let me tell you, that did not feel good, because that hammock is a steel frame. There's a steel frame at the bottom. So when you fall on that thing, you fall right on a steel bar. And the kids were piled on top of me, and my ankles hit the perpendicular leg that's also steel. And that messed my ankle up pretty good for Sunday. Let's see, what else did I do over the weekend? So Sunday, I did a little bit more gardening, and then I took my wife out to dinner. We went to Red Lobster. I had a lobster roll. Have you ever had a lobster roll?
No.
Do you like fish?
No.
Lobster? Any of that?
The only fish I eat is the fish that I.
Please don't talk about cutting out the mud butt or whatever. I know you loved.
No, there's a vein that goes through the main part of the fish, and if you cut it out, it takes out all of the nasty flavor.
Yeah, right.
And a lot of people don't take that out. Eating fish to me tastes like. I met a MCOC dude one time. We went to a little. He wanted to meet. He was Korean, so he wanted to meet at the little Jasmine place, the Thai place that had sushi and shit here that I've never been into in my life. And we got some, and he was like, "You got to try it. Here's tuna and blah, blah, blah. Just try it." To me, it tastes like what it smells when you walk along the beach and there's a decomposing fish. It does not. I mean, it's not even appetizing. That's not even appetizing to me.
No,
but if you take out, if you fillet it a certain way and cut out this certain vein that runs through there, and a lot of people don't do it because you lose the big piece. You don't get a big piece. You get little pieces, but it takes that flavor out. It makes it a clean white meat. I like that fish. I won't just eat. And I'm not a big seafood person anyway.
Yeah,
I was tricked into eating calamari when I was about 18 years old. And
calamari's delicious.
Oh my God. Not when somebody tells you it's onion rings and you're eating them and you're like, these are weird.
That's not cool.
Rings, and they're doing it as a joke because they know you don't like that stuff. It kind of, it kind of ruins you on certain things. Your buddy's being ha ha ha. So I'm not a big seafood.
Don't do that.
eater.
Don't do that to people. Yeah.
No, you really you ruin people.
Calamari is good though. I like it. But then again, I've eaten like I had some like octopus balls the last time we went to a Japanese place. Not octopus testicles. It's a ball made of octopus. It's called like a takoyaki or something like that. Okay. And then I went to the range. Yeah, I went to the range, and that was our date last night. The range was fun. I'm thinking about getting a Sig Sauer, but I'm not. You know, I don't know if you know this about me, but I take forever to make a decision to buy something. Like,
yeah, I know that about you. You take forever to make a decision on anything, not just.
Yeah, I'm like all the research. I'm like this or that, or maybe do which version and what do I need? Like, I'm very slow about. But I'm you know what? This is a thing about me too. I don't mind taking a long time to make a decision, but I also like enjoy. At some level, I think I enjoy just like thinking about getting or doing something more than actually getting something. Like I really don't like having stuff, but sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, that might be neat, and I enjoy thinking about like.
I'm kind of the same way, but mine's I think spurs from something that happened in my past. I will like watch stuff on the TikTok shop and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, that's cool. I'd really like to have one of those, or I really want one of those, or that would be really cool to have. Or, this, I love to cook. So I see all these different like little devices that they come out with now. And I'm like, man, that's so awesome to cut onions that way or something like that. And I really want to spend like $10 on it, but I don't, because when I was in middle school, we had a house fire. I lost everything. And that kind of changed the way that I look on stuff. Stuff is stuff. You can always get, and not everything matters, because there's a lot of people that have stuff that they're like, I've had this since I was a baby, or this has been in my family for 3 generations, and that's awesome. And I completely like respect that, but I don't understand that because I don't have anything like that. You know, I have very few things that were given to me like, this is your grandfather's wallet and his last $2 or some, shit like that. I don't have like so I don't like have that association with those objects that
do you ever see like people on YouTube like do shows like this where it's like, people just talking to their audience or whatever, and in their background of their set, they've got like lights and toys and like all kinds of kitschy stuff or whatever. And I look at that and I'm like, well, that's, like, oh, you got a cool little set design or whatever. But in my mind, if I looked around my room and I was like, what would it be like if I had a bunch of toys and statues and lights? I'd be like, I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that.
It's really cool. I would love to have a big statue of Cable right here looking cool. Right. And that would be cool for like 30 seconds. And then I'd be like, where the hell am I sticking this 3-foot statue of a Marvel superhero?
Is this thing supposed to hold a jacket? Like, what do I do with this thing? I don't want it. I don't want that. So I like, now I will say that, but I was, okay. No, this is gonna immediately date itself because of what I'm about to say, but it's on the same topic. A number of years ago, our buddy Sleepy Link chastised me because there was some video where he saw my knives and I was cutting some food up or something like that. And he was like, you got to up your knife game, your chef knife game. And I was like, these cut fine. And then like, whatever. But ever since then, I've been like, yeah, I need to like, we've had these knives in our kitchen for like 20 years and they're not great. Maybe I need you. So every once in a while, I'm like, I'm going to really think about replacing the knives. And then I don't do it.
I know, I'm kind of like you. I'm kind of old school. I'm like, the knife still cuts. I don't. Yeah, it still works. Why do I need to spend?
I have challenged so much food with this knife, and
accomplishes
the knife still wins.
Supposed to. I just maybe need to sharpen it and take 2 or 3 minutes sharpening it. Do Good said, "Have you ever tried puffer fish?"
Oh, that's the one that if you don't process it correctly, you're gonna get killed. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm definitely not that interested. Good morning. Hey, Saturday, Do Good's here. So Saturday, I didn't plan it well. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to be doing this for a while. I'm going to figure out some way to like, maybe I can turn my phone on or whatever. So I rigged up like a little stand and I hooked my phone up and I live streamed on X, just on X,
cool.
that I was making the boxes. So that was fun. I don't know if I'm going to do any other like big projects, but I mean, that was kind of cool. So follow me on X if you're not already, y'all. And I just thought it was fun. I was just hanging out and playing music, and my kids were dancing. About an hour into it, my kids took over and they were like, play Apatapata, and then they were dancing to Apatapata by Rose. I don't hate. Do you know?
You could be inventing words right now, and I wouldn't.
You're so not with it. Okay. Let's see. We got some stories.
I'm gonna run to my car and get my other Gatorade. I didn't get my coffee this morning because I've been up since like 3 a.m. We hadn't felt good all weekend, so I've been up since like 3 a.m. and not feeling good and kind of queasy. So I got me a couple of Gatorades, and I brought in my other one. So I'm going to run and get the other one while you start this.
Well, so you don't miss anything while you're doing that. I'm going to watch this promotional video about a Sig Sauer that you don't care about.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Let's see what he has to say about a Sig Sauer.
Between concealability and capability, putting all of it in one package. And it starts right here with the 4.3-inch full-sized barrel. Now, that's going to give you more muzzle velocity, yet keeping that 365 platform and shape for more concealability. Now, this is a version of the X Macro grip module that has custom stippling done right here at Sig Sauer that's going to give you a much...
See, okay, I'm glad you said that. See, he just said 4.3-inch. That's the 365 fuse. I don't want a 4.3-inch barrel. I want a shorter barrel. I already have a Chainik with a 4.5-inch barrel. He said 4.3. I did shoot the P365 yesterday. I shot the 365 macro, and it was pretty dope. It was fitted with a red dye. Man, I can't. Come on, dude. P365. That's what I want to see. Do good. Are you guys? Are Germans even allowed to own guns? I need to know that, sir. I need to know that. I don't know. I don't know what the rule is for. Now this is the Big Daddy right here. The Legion. The Legion has got the aluminum body, but I don't have money for a Legion. But I might get a 365 macro. Oh, there you are. You're back. 365 macro, but if I get one, I'm going to get the one that has the vented ports. JJ, why does anybody care about this? You don't, but I do. So deal with it.
Wonder who else has personality symptoms like that. Oh, I don't know.
I woke up and I decided I don't care if people watch or not, whatever. I've given up on trying to attract the audience. We're just here to talk about whatever we want.
Oh, no.
As far as I know, Sig went out of business a couple years ago. That's a good investment. No, they're not out of bad business.
JJ and I have had this conversation many times about this show. This is just a conversation that we have between each other. I never intended for us to have a show that competed with anyone else. I've been in radio 30 years and I have had very successful shows, and me and you both have had a very successful podcast, to the point that Marvel gave us, Okay. So anyway,
I would like to have a successful show.
Those are accolades that we need to talk about. Marvel recognized us, sent us to their headquarters. We played. We took a private tour. We played in a special tournament. It was, and we were recognized because of our success on our podcast. That could translate over to here. The problem is we are dads first. We are family and fathers first. Yeah. And every other person on Rumble and YouTube that has shows on right now doing the same thing that we are in high-tech studios with better equipment.
Yeah.
They put their show first and their family second.
Well,
some days Lily might have something, and JJ will message me at 7:45 and he's like, I've got to go do this.
Oh, did I tell you she did actually break her hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, she actually broke her ring finger, and not in the hand part. Oh, I'm covering my hand, but the actual ring finger, the base of her ring finger. She
Yeah.
actually, so she has a little. It's not really a cast. It's just sort of a brace
Yeah,
to keep
there's
her two
really not
fingers
much you can
still.
do with a
Not
with
really
those.
much.
So that's,
You
I mean,
can't
I
tell her to
just
stop
don't.
jumping on trampolines. That's what
I don't want you to like get discouraged and stuff like that, because if we
Well,
wanted to, I think me and you
I
could
gotta
put
say-
our heads together and absolutely have a 500-600 people watching the show. But I don't. We
Mm,
are real dads. We're real.
Yeah.
We're not fake. You know. So,
it's true.
and this is just a conversation.
I'm not well, yeah. I would like to let me just put it this way. If we had an audience, it would make more sense to my wife why I waste so much time doing this.
You need to explain to her that this is you hanging out with your friends in the morning. Dave's not
Oh,
here
I do.
today. He won't be here for a couple days,
I
but
do that.
this is us hanging out.
Well, I'm not saying I'm bummed about it, but I'm a little bit like, man.
No, it'd be nice if we could get on here and have a conversation for an
Yeah.
hour and make $300 a month. Yeah, that'd be nice. But we
Yeah.
don't, and I don't care.
Yeah.
I like having a conversation with you. And if people want to join and hang out and listen, that's
Maybe
awesome.
we should take callers.
Yeah.
Just get random people in and be like,
Now you're
what do
wanting
you
to
think?
invest money in something that we're not making any money. Do goods. He's like, no guns for the average citizen over here, but there are ways to
well,
get them.
He says there used to be a German branch of Sig Sauer. I'm not sure if this is exactly the way it is, but I believe that anybody that like wants to do business in Germany, you have to set up a company like subsidiary in Germany. They always have these like weird acronyms on the name of it, like GPDL or something weird like that. I don't remember what it is, but you have to do, and maybe I'm mistaken about that, but so I wouldn't be surprised if Sig Sauer had at one time a German subsidiary to do business in Germany, but I don't know what he says that there's no guns for the average Joe in Do Good. I mean, in Germany. Wow, God, it's early in the morning. No guns for the average German. That's not good. That's not good. And Germany's being.
You say that. Let
rest of
me
Europe.
see if I saved this video. Did I post the video of the I don't think I did. There was a video of, I don't know if it was Germany. It was over across the pond because of how the license plate was.
Yeah.
But it was a woman that like there was a road rage incident and the car had like pulled into a parking space and the woman like pulled in to try to get a picture of the license plate, and the two girls jumped out of the car and ran and jumped on her hood and started smashing her hood in, smashing her windshield in and everything. There was like glass everywhere and it was cracking everywhere, and the woman had to back up and go. And one of the freaking comments was like, that wouldn't happen here in America, because she would have had like 5 rounds in her if she was jumping and stomping on my window like that. I've seen plenty. I saw a road rage one this morning where the guy got out and was fussing at the guy and the guy shot him.
Yeah.
And which is it's scary that it's gotten to that point, but it was natural evolution. If you looked at it, you're going to get to the point where I'm scared you're frightening me. Boom.
There was a video last week, like right now, the loony leftists are like attacking people with Teslas. So I saw a video over the weekend of a mom like in Seattle, like Washington area, I think it was, driving her Tesla around, running her errands, doing whatever she's doing. She had her kid in the car, and some psychopath in like a Honda Civic or something, like rushed up beside her, got in front of her, braked his car, made her stop, like parked his car in the road, got out in the middle of the road and started yelling at her, telling her to sell her car and she supports Nazis, whatever. These people are crazy. And I tell you what, if somebody had done that to me and hopefully to my wife, if she was armed in the car, like the guy could have got plugged for like creating.
Well, that's honestly, and that's not. I'm not calling that's terrible, and I hope that doesn't happen, and it shouldn't happen.
People have to be careful.
It's eventually going to happen. And then that is going to be, it's like a prophetic. That is going to be the catalyst. And it's going to happen. There's not of if it's going to happen.
Time.
It's a matter of when it's going to happen. It is going to happen. You know it is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want that to happen. I want these people to like chill out. Come on. Stop.
But these people are obviously not going to chill out. They're not. We can want in one hand all we want, and it's never going to fill up. They are not going to stop doing this. So we can't keep turning the cheek. You're going to have to start defending them. So they need to understand that your actions have consequences. If you don't believe that, you need to go back to freaking science class. So I'm sorry that you're getting 20 years in prison. You should have thought about it. I don't go into Walmart and put something in my pocket and try to walk out. You know why? Because I know there's consequences if I get caught, and I don't want to pay those consequences.
Yeah. Oh, I think I found. Look at this. Here, I'm going to show that. I'm going to show that video.
There's these I'm so sick of hearing about this Tesla crap, because coming in on the news is now oh, these people are scared, and I'm so sick of it. These people are so moronic that they think that this is what's going. You're getting mad at a guy who has been appointed lawfully by the United States president to find waste, and he has not only found waste, he's found an exorbitant amount of waste, and you're getting mad at it. This to me is like anymore if somebody says they're a Democrat, I want you out of my face. I don't even want to look at you. Look, he can't hold his face out. You got to cover my face.
Yeah. But can you imagine if your wife was in a car and this psychopath just pulled over and did that?
Man, that's why you need to carry a weapon at all times. Be it a gun, be it mace, be it a taser, whatever. You need to carry a weapon at all times.
Yeah, I mean,
you need to know how to use
people are not
that
like
weapon.
that. There are people that are crazy. These people are crazy.
Yeah, EDS, man. They're calling it EDS. I even have some. Look, here's. I had some that I'd saved in my little secret stash here of these of some EDS.
You're nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be some big consequences to this crap. Look at this guy.
What's this guy's doing? He's wearing a Bernie shirt. Okay,
right,
Bernie,
just listen. He makes
Bernie,
just listen to him.
Do I want to get Elon Musk out of politics? Yeah, the world's richest man, the most influential in history, is now calling the shots.
What has he done that really bothers you?
He's arrogant, drugged up, naive.
You look 60 years, USAID, billions of dollars. Do you think it made an impact in the world?
You know,
they told me to say that I don't like Elon, so I'm saying I don't like Elon. But now you're asking all these hard questions that I can't answer.
Yeah, like why do you not like Elon?
Why do you not like Elon?
This man and woman here are mad at this guy because he has an American flag on his beanie.
You need to weed out a political affiliation.
It's free speech.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, we're talking. It's good. All good.
You want to give your thoughts? It's just a U.S. flag with the hunter stuff. It's a hunter's hat. It's no political. I promise.
It looks political.
It's not political. I promise. This is just a brand.
Why are you wearing it then?
Because it's cold.
So
bitch.
Cabela's.
Who are you?
Cabela's? Yeah. So like this.
I've also seen.
Are you my grandmother? Are you my mother? Then walk away.
Repeal the 19th. That's what we need to do.
Hell, I had another one here. And this one, I didn't even really listen to all this lady because the first thing I thought of was I'm like, look, if you hang on, we're going to listen to her first.
Can I just say, hold on, before you play it,
you're going to say the
say,
same thing I'm going to say.
No, I'm not. I'm going to say I put more effort into getting ready for this show than she did in that video.
Dude, we're underreacting. We need to be rioting, not protesting. We need to be like burning shit to the ground.
Oh, yeah?
Somebody needs to be a hero.
Yeah?
Somebody needs to be a fucking hero.
Can you tell me why is it that every person that has big, giant, brightly colored fucking frames on their glasses is a fucking idiot? Why every one of them that have big, giant, bright, green, red, yellow frames, they are just the most moronic lunatics on the face of the planet.
Zoom and enhance. She has a painting on the wall of a cow's udder squirting milk all over the universe. What? She has mental problems. Look at her face. She very clearly has mental problems.
I'm just making a very biased observation because I am a white male and I am the epitome of scum.
Well, yeah, that's true. I don't
deny it.
Of course you are.
Yeah, me and you've been told that for 48 years now.
Well, I don't. You know,
we've been told that for our entire lives.
Yeah,
I
don't know that I'm white. I don't know that I'm white.
I'm not white.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I have a fair complexion, but I don't know. I don't know what my percentage is, and I don't think anybody's white. Nobody's white. Nobody's black. We're all humans.
Hey, I mean, if you want to, this is
put us in blenders, and we look the same.
JJ's going to get pissed about this, but listen, you're exactly right. There is no black. There is no white. There is no such thing as colors. Colors are an illusion invented in our brain to describe the wavelengths of light that we are seeing. Because red, the highest wavelength, is like 460 terahertz.
That's true.
And violet is the lowest one. So when that light comes into our cones in our retinas, it translates it all into a color in our brain.
It's true.
Colors are an illusion created by our brain. So you always need to remember that. And let me tell you another one, and you can look this one up. When you look at a leaf on a tree, what color is that leaf, JJ? It's not a complicated question. It's a simple question. What color is the leaf? Green. Good answer, green. JJ. Green. Thank you for not taking 45 minutes to give me the answer that is so obvious. No, you're incorrect. That leaf is not green. Technically, that leaf is every color but green, because the green wavelength is not being absorbed by that particular object as much as the other ones, and it is reflecting it back to our eyes. Correct. So that leaf is technically every color but green. But we only see the reflected color. So your shirt is not blue. It's every color but blue. And that's why it interprets us as blue, because that light is reflected back into our eyes.
Jordan. Jordan, this is my
science lesson today, and
this is my friend Jordan.
Shut up.
No. I'm recognizing our guest. This is Jordan. He's from Jordan. If you ever want to come talk with us, you're welcome. By the way, this is a friend from my youth. Off topic. Sig Sauer was a German manufacturer. They branched out to the U.S. Oh, okay. I honestly don't know where they are based or whatever. I do know that while I was dubious of the straight trigger, it actually pulls just fine. And I was very happy with the shot grouping from that macro, and I'm down with the vented ports. Let's see.
So back to the color.
Yeah. No, I think I honestly think that since you're talking about colors and wavelengths and stuff, I feel like, but I don't have it on the top of my mind. Top of mind. That's it. Biden era expression, that I think I saw something controversial about some people being able to see color more than others because literally they have more cones or rods or whatever in their eyes than others. And I don't remember what the controversy was because it seems like, duh, of course, some people have more cones and some people have less. So of course, some people are going to be able to see color and some people are not going to be able to see color as much.
Synesthesia. I might be saying that wrong. And it's where, our five senses are, touch. You got to think it goes through a line to your brain to touch, right? Smell through a line to your brain to smell. Sight through a line.
Yeah.
Well, in that, the lines get crossed. So when you hear music, you see colors and you can taste sounds. Have you never heard that? It's very interesting. They think that Beethoven or Bach or one of them had this ability to, like, when you play ding 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 ding, a C is
smell
like
music.
A C. Well, they music was colors, and a C would be a red or a D. Because that is. I mean, I've got a chart that says what colors are what notes, but
colors are temperature, which is you're saying light waves. So colors are temperature.
Color is a wave of light that is moving fast or slow.
That is temperature. That's what temperature is.
Right. That's what a lot of things.
That's how we tell how hot stars are. Let's see. Here's some news that you don't care about. The South Korean court has overturned Prime Minister Han, the impeachment of Prime Minister Han. Do you remember that we talked about, like, South Korea was not doing democracy very well, where they've impeached like almost all of their prime ministers in the last 50 years for various criminal reasons. South Korea's constitutional court has overturned the impeachment of Prime Minister Han Duck-soo, reinstating him as the acting president. 7 of the court's 8 justices dismissed the impeachment, stating the accusations were not severe enough to warrant removal. His massive rallies in Seoul to support or oppose Han and President Yoon. Yoon's office claimed the reinstatement proved the opposition's impeachment efforts were reckless and politically motivated. So, South Korea is now back on top of their democracy game, I guess. Yeah. Also, in very, very important news, Donald Trump, for some reason, 2 months after he's taken office, has finally removed the security clearances for Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, Dick Cheney, or Liz Cheney. I don't know, maybe one or both. I don't know, and a bunch of other people. Yeah, really.
Liz Cheney don't need no Secret Service.
Yeah. He's determined it's no longer in the national interest for these foul, evil human beings to receive access to classified information. This follows the Biden 2021 decision to restrict Donald Trump's access to classified information. So I guess the old adage applies. If you can't, don't dish it out if you can't take it, right? So tough shit.
Did you see those? Did you see the videos of Hunter Biden after they had revoked his Secret Service?
Oh, yes.
I mean, they are a little strange.
Laura Loomer posted, it was about a week or two ago, Laura Loomer on X posted a video. She was like, I caught Hunter Biden in South Africa. And she had exclusive videos of Hunter Biden in South Africa with his Secret Service detail. And like the next day, Donald Trump was like, you know what? We don't need to do that. And so he yoinked all of Hunter Biden's Secret Service details. So now Hunter Biden is in South Africa. Why is he in South Africa? Why did he leave the country like right after Donald Trump took office? You think there's some reason? I don't know. Maybe he's just on a vacation.
They don't like white people down there in South Africa too much, so maybe he should stay.
Do you know the market seems to have fallen out for Hunter Biden paintings? Like last year, Hunter Biden paintings were selling to somebody for millions of dollars, and hundreds of thousands of dollars. But now his paintings, they seem to not be selling for anything.
Really? It's odd.
It's very unfortunate that his business has taken a turn like that.
Sad.
I don't have anything else. I do. I got one more. I might just take it. But hey, dude, for real, anytime. We like having people around. And anyway, welcome. I'm talking to Jordan there. So last week, the Giza pyramid story broke, and as soon as I saw it, before you ever mentioned it, as soon as I saw it, I was dreading bringing it up because
because you thought that I wouldn't you
no please
realize that I had already probably heard about that.
I'm sure you had
years before, and it wasn't a surprise.
The reason was
something.
As soon as this story dropped, I saw 3 people doing shorts on YouTube, and I was like, well, you don't have much credibility, and you don't have much credibility, and then they're like, this new story dropped from this whoever this academic research was, and they dripped it out. They're like, we're releasing this and more to come, and immediately I was like, red flag, red flag, red flag. I don't.
Thank you. Me too.
Okay, well,
I'm not a Kool-Aid drinker. I really like this stuff. I honestly believe there's something to know. All those pyramids are built under aquifers and stuff, so there's something that we don't know about them. I think it's very interesting that we're finding this stuff, and I would be really interested in finding out the answer in like 30 years. When I'm 80, because we're never going to know in my lifetime what was down there. And if they start trying to study it, governments and stuff do currently prohibit archaeologists from doing stuff and studying stuff like that. If you don't think that's going on, just look up what's going on at Göbekli Tepe. And they haven't done crap there in 20 years because it's a tourist attraction now. So I don't like it when stuff like this happens, because it's like you said, everybody jumps on the bandwagon. Everybody tries to get clout and wants to get views and likes and everything. And I don't want likes. I want information. So I let all this crap pass.
I saw this come up on shorts, and I was like, you people have zero credibility, every one of you. And then I saw it on the Free Press ran a story, and I was like, why are you? And of course, the story on the Free Press was probably like people are claiming there's something under the pyramid. So it wasn't like Free Press was claiming it. They were just reporting on people claiming it. And now this morning I get on Ground News, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why is this on Ground News? Claims of underground city beneath Giza pyramid face intense scrutiny. But then I go over here and so this is the first thing you should do if you guys are ever perusing news. Yeah, perusing. Go to Ground News, and then you'll see you get some information about coverage. So look at this: 69 articles. 69 articles are cited on this kind of story. But look at the breakdown. Like Hiba Jiba Jiba, some Arab thing or whatever, and then like Metro News. Okay, I don't know who that is. WION, Jerusalem Post. I don't know. Capital. Like, do you see anything here that looks like remotely The Sun, Gateway Pundit? I don't know. But do you see anything here that looks like a remotely credible news source? Like maybe a couple of them.
Whoa. What the hell do you define as remotely credible? The Sun?
No. I mean, look, WION News. No, I'm not saying they're credible. I'm saying okay, they're running it, but I don't.
I would find the little bitty freaking news stations that you ain't no Wukatukapuchaku news. I would find that way more credible than any major media outlet that you're going to get it from.
I'm saying what I'm saying is, I'm not saying believe major media.
Look at things completely differently, dude.
I'm saying if major media isn't even touching it, I'm not saying
that's a big, huge red flag to me that maybe there's something about it. If major media is not touching it.
I don't know. Oh, well, look, I found Tim Pool down there. So Tim Pool's covering it, I guess.
I'm serious.
I don't know.
If major media, that me and you look at that completely different then. Because if like, well,
it's a,
I'm
I'm
only
not
getting
saying
stories from these
believe
little
them.
bitty
I'm saying it's a
places.
signal. It's a signal if major news outlets are not
Right,
even looking at the story.
Also, what you're not putting into this whole factor, and it's something that I actually keep up with, is the fact that there is a suppression that has been going on in archaeological studies and historical finds for the last 50, 60, 70 years. There has been an academic repression on certain pieces of information that has come out, and we have discovered this over the years. So when something like this happens and they're like, we found, some scientist does a laser radar and it's like, oh my God, there's a city underneath here. Hey, everybody, there's a city underneath here. And then 2 days later, the Air Force is releasing, oh, it was just a weather balloon. Our bad. It's just a weather balloon. Y'all don't cover this. Shut up covering this, or we're going to stop running ads on your station. Yep, nothing to see here. Hey, wonder who won the March Madness this weekend, huh? Nothing to see here. I'm not an idiot.
Well, I don't know. I just don't know what to think about it. And
I don't either.
And like if you go to the actual like the tomographic, if you look at the actual tomographic like stuff from the source of the paper that they're all running from, it starts with like this. Like the researchers were like, oh, this is the kind of detail we got out of our scan. And
but
you're
you
like,
and
okay,
I
but
both can't look at, we look at that picture and it's a Rorschach, whatever test. Rorschach test. All right.
Yeah, right. Rorschach.
We don't know how to decipher that picture like those freaking archaeologists and scientists do. And once again, that goes against exactly what I said. You've got some people over here saying, this is this. And then you've got some people over here saying, nah, it's not that. There's no way a city could be underneath there.
This is what I'm saying. So I don't know if you know this or not. The company I work for, we do software development for oil and gas companies. And the technology that oil and gas companies have to create 3D seismic data underground is awesome.
Yeah.
It would not be hard to drill a few holes in the area of this thing and get real high quality data. This is not it. This is not what that looks like. This is like some low res gobbledygook. And I mean, in my opinion, so when you start with that and you're like, oh, because of that, we have like, scans of the internal chambers.
No, okay. I know you're never going to be convinced, and that's fine.
No, that's not true. No, that's not true. What I'm saying is that we have seismic tech that can do amazing stuff, and it doesn't look like that.
But here's the problem.
Yeah.
Hi, Egyptian government. We want to do this.
Oh,
no.
For sure.
Hi, Saudi Arabian government. We want to do this. No. And that's the problem. And then it's like, what happens if you do find something? What happens if you do find out that the pyramids are nothing that we thought? Absolutely nothing. And we don't even know what all this is. Do we put that information out to the whole world? Or do we suppress that information so that we can figure out what the crap's going on? Because we don't want 6 billion people coming to Egypt trying to figure out what the crap's going on. So don't say a word, and we're going to figure this out on our own. Yeah,
I guess so.
There's a lot of that goes on that you don't want. Me and you are going to talk about it on the internet along with millions of other people, but there's crazy people out there that want to go and I want to dig in and I'm going to search and dig a tunnel. And so, I mean, I can see why you suppress information and stuff like this. And I don't think we'll ever figure out not in my lifetime.
Well, we will agree that the government of Egypt is, and that may be true. That might be true. But you know what?
I think it was a power source. There are so much evidence of that it being a power source, it being a giant battery, basically, about how it's built, what it's built over, what has been residue that has been found in certain chambers and stuff for chemical reactions and stuff. The outside of the thing that everybody said had this and limestone and whatnot. It all points to an energy, a battery.
Okay, so this is related to exactly what you're saying. Over the weekend, I saw a story about generating electricity based on the Earth's electromagnetic field. And there was a story on March 19th from Physics Magazine that mentioned this. They took a metal cylinder that was like a tin can, and they put like electrodes on either end of it or whatever. And then they oriented it like it had no voltage. And then when you turn it up to like 57 degrees or whatever, it started generating microvolts of voltage. So if the tin can was, why?
Do you know why? Seriously, I'm not trying to act like I'm all knowing or anything. It is because in the late 1800s, they changed our periodic table. They took an element off of the table, and they started educating us that it was made up, and that you've probably heard that element's name before. They used to call it the aether. That used to be on our periodic table. Electricity is in our atmosphere and it's in our air. It's in our ground, it's in our air. The higher you go, the higher electricity is in our air. They did not want us to know in the late 1800s that you can harness electricity for yourself. They wanted to sell it to you. They took it off the periodic table. They dumbed us down in our education system. And now 150 years later, we're all finding out, did you know you can harness electricity out of the air and stick a copper rod? And everybody's like, wow, that's magic. No, it's not. That's our great grandparents' knowledge that was suppressed from us.
So so ether is a loaded term.
Right. But that is a loaded term. That is what has been called for a long time.
Okay, but that is a loaded term, so I'm not gonna opine on any of that. This story that I'm talking about was published in physics.aps.org, I guess, and I just have this is just like stuff you can see. So the story is that the researchers were attempting to harness electricity from the Earth's magnetic field based on the rotational force, and obviously we have our electromagnetic field that we have that protects us from solar rays and stuff. And this is the thing. They took it. Now it only generates microvoltage in a particular orientation. It has to be like, I think 57 degrees or so from the Earth. And then that orientation, it's catching, I don't know what, and able to generate electricity. Now, could older civilizations have figured something like this out? And could, advancement on this kind of technology generate more voltage? Maybe, but it's not crazy to think that it's not totally crazy to think the pyramid structure, if it had long, because it's
at the Earth's magnetic.
Right. Yeah. So maybe, but isn't Egypt close to the equator?
The fact that the pyramids, it's not just the Egyptian pyramids. I mean, pyramids all over the world, and a lot of them are in the same formations, and a lot of them are built over aquifers, which is, there's a water table underneath the pyramid a certain distance down. And it's not just one or two, it's a bunch of them. Right. It's just, there's too many coincidences. After so many coincidences, you start going, okay, maybe there's too many coincidences here. So we've got to start putting them together into something.
The whole of human history can pretty much be described by where there are rivers and water sources. Well,
yeah.
Anyway, I just thought this was kind of cool. It's one thing to have the nebulous story about the pyramids could be generating electricity. That could be what they were designed for. Okay, but then it's another thing to be like, yeah, but here's an instrument that's exercising some of the concept of harnessing electricity from the atmosphere, even though it's very, very minute amount. We've agreed in the past that we have no idea how much knowledge humanity has lost.
Oh man, I've said 1,000,000 times in my past that the Library of Alexandria's knowledge that was lost that was one of the most devastating moments, in my personal opinion, in human history. The loss of knowledge from the fire at the Library of Alexandria was that devastated the human race. I think we
According-
would be so far advanced in technology, so far advanced in society. I honestly believe we lost all kinds of knowledge.
According to What We Do in Shadows, that was a massive porn collection. It's gone.
I'm sure that's what's below the Vatican, isn't it?
That's why they won't let you look at that stuff.
Once they look at it.
What do we got? We're out of time. I think I had one more. It was JFK stuff. I don't want to like dig on JFK stuff yet. I tried to put together like a website over the weekend, just over one day or whatever, just to like navigate these documents, because like all of these documents have you even looked at any of them other than the Underhill thing I brought up last week? The Underhill thing is weird. The JFK files that they released that tell us like almost nothing except all the CIA data.
I don't give a crap about that. That happened before I was born. It's
right.
It happened. The exact effect it's gone on my entire life. I've known that the CIA. The only thing that it was really revealing to me was the driver. You know, the driver turning around and shooting. That made all the sense in the world of why Jackie was running, trying to get out the back of the freaking thing. And they were saying, oh, she's grabbing the head, his part of his skull. No, I never.
She's trying to get out of that car. Somebody just blew up in that car next to her.
When I was a kid, and that's what the explanation was, or she was reaching back to grab a part of his head. I was like, the hell she is. There's no way. And now it just makes all the sense in the world that the driver turned around, shot him in the head, and then she tried to jump out the damn car. It makes all the sense in the world now.
Right. It does make sense. It does make sense.
No, I ain't reading that JFK crap.
All right. So I don't know if you know this or not, but you sent a message, but you sent it to me instead of to everybody. So whatever you're talking about Tennessee Friday night, nobody else saw that.
Oh, nobody else saw that? Oh, my bad.
No.
I don't know how to work that. I don't know. Do good. Ask who won the march. Did UK go to the big dance? UK beat Illinois, and they play Tennessee on Friday night in the Sweet 16.
Do you have any idea why sometimes it puts comments here and sometimes it puts them at the top?
I don't know.
Of course you don't. I know you don't know. I don't even know why I asked you. All right, Deke, let's do jokes. I've got it in my.
I got this dry cough, and once you start coughing, you can't. You just barely getting a little phlegm every time. You got to cough a million times.
It's like, do you get that raspy throat thing? Because the raspy chest thing? Because I hate that.
Yes.
Do you know how many seconds there are in a year, Deke?
86,000?
No, there's 12. It's January 2nd, February 2nd.
God. I spotted an albino Dalmatian the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, it was the least I could do. Because he was an albino Dalmatian. Okay, I got a better one. What's the difference between
Hold on. Wait, I'm looking for the joke.
JJ missed that one. An albino Dalmatian? What's an albino Dalmatian, JJ? It's a white dog.
Know. The white dog.
Yeah, I spotted it. It's the least I could do.
So you put the spots on it?
Dalmatian. Yeah. Okay, let me
try.
You
know what my daughter says when I tell her jokes? She has two reactions. If I tell her jokes, if I tell her like a joke, she literally will say to me, "I don't get it." And then this is Jill I'm talking about. And then if I tell her a joke, and the other response that I get from her if I tell a joke is this: "I get it. It's not funny."
Those are going to be my two responses from now on. I don't get it, and I get it, and it's not funny.
I get it. It's not funny.
All right.
Oh
you
my
go
God.
Again?
Okay, sure.
Let's do another one.
All
right. Why do mice have such small balls?
I have no idea.
Well, not many of them know how to dance, JJ.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, this is a terrible. I'm not doing this. This is even so bad I can't do it. Doctor, I've broken my arm in several places. And the doctor says, well, don't go to those places.
Don't go to those places.
Oh, yeah.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your